Tapped in, tuned in, turned all the way on. This ain't just a vibe, it's a freak scene bomb. Ms.Blue in the building, oracle flow, cracking codes of the cosmos, now you already know. Yeah. Ride the wave, feel the light, it's frequency love tonight. Ms.Blue gon' take you higher, burning truth with sacred fire. Stay hungry, this is soul talk, rebirth from the womb. Say it with me, I can alter my course at any time. Tap in, turn on. Your higher self already logged in. If you really want it, you gotta be it. As Ms.Blue has shared with the world, it's all about frequency. If you feel it, show it. If you want it, grow it. If you believe it, know it. It's all about frequency. If you dream it, live it. Live it. If you receive it, give it. Nothing's missing, I'm it. It's all about frequency. In the past I thought I lost it, but the truth was always near. Every scar became a teacher, every fall just brought me here. Now I'm rising with the healing, every light inside of me, not becoming what I'm chasing. I am the frequency. You feel it, show it. Show it. If you want it, grow it. Grow. If you leave it, know it. Know. All about frequency. Ask the question, how is this possible? The answer subtle, synchronicities audible. Keys unlocking, belief expanding. Frame by frame, new life commanding. No chase, no match, I embody the key. The light I own unlocks destiny. Raise my vibration, reality shifts. Every dream I desire already exists. Nothing's coming to me, no, no. Already here. When I raise my vibration, the vision is clear. Vision is clear. If you want it, grow it. If you leave it, know it. Believe it. It's all about frequency. If you dream it, live it. Give it. If you receive it, give it. Nothing's missing, I'm it. It's all about frequency.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Peace and greetings, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome on in. Peace and greetings to everyone. Wow. How are you all doing? How are you all feeling? Come on in. I want to greet you all with higher insight as we get ready to dive in. What a week. Can you believe we are already at the end of May? Like, that is just blowing my mind in itself. We're at the end of May and 2026. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Well, welcome on in. And everyone who's coming on in, thank you so much for coming on in. Let's hit that like button as well. We're going to be getting into the share here. But also, one of the things I want to do, I want to kind of talk about a few things before we really tap in. One, I want to know where you're tuning in from, like what city, what state, what country, what continent you're tuning in from. And I trust that wherever you are in the world, that you are able to get you some sunlight. So important. You are able to get outside and get you some sunlight today. Depending on where you are in the world, we have a pretty active week. And that's what I want to talk about here in the share. So again, good morning, good night, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from in the world. So glad to have you here. And definitely, I want you all to click that like button because that's going to let everybody know that we are live here. So I want to greet all the visionaries in the building. And so glad to have the visionaries in the building. We got Maryland checking in, Cincinnati, Ohio in the building. We have Pascagoula. Did I say that right? Pascagoula, Mississippi in the building. North Carolina in the building. Georgia is here. And Orange County, California. Welcome on in. We also have Hollandale Beach, Florida in the building, checking in. So many of you are checking in from all over. Yeah. So, hi everyone. So glad you all could join me here. First, I want to take a second because during these pivotal times of the year, we do have soul family who is leaving the planet. And I just want to take a moment of silence for all of our ancestors and our loved ones out there, that we send them love and light as they continue on their journey, and also love to their families out there. So sending out so many ashes, so many amens and blessings as those souls continue on their journey. I've gotten quite a few emails over the last week or so of loved ones passing away, as we say here, in this earthly plane and moving on to their next destination. So I wanted to honor that before we got ready to get into the share. Welcome on in, Hilton Head, South Carolina, Georgia, Detroit, Michigan, Covington, Georgia. We got a lot of Georgia in the building. Louisville, Kentucky in the building. Brooklyn, New York in the building. Welcome on in. And Ember Divine Grace says, my husband's grandmother passed away Sunday, sending her so much love, and you and the family so much love as well. Like I said, I've been getting quite a bit, from last week to this week. So I wanted to make sure. So let's just take a moment for all of us to take a deep breath. And we can do this all together. We're just going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to breathe in through the nose. We're going to hold it for a 3 count. And we're going to slowly let it out of our mouths. Now, I want you to drop down in your body as you're doing this. You can take your hands and you can place it over your solar plex chakra. That's going to be in your belly button region. For brothers, it is going to be your belly button. And for sisters, you can place it right above your belly button. So here we go. We're going to take a deep breath and we're going to do this collectively together. So deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a 3 count and slowly let it out your mouth. You know, something that seems that simple can really, really send a message to your nervous system, to your body. It can ground you. It can center you. It can clear your mind, right? And it can give you an energetic reset, which is so important for us to do, particularly at a time like this. So again, welcome to everyone on Into the Cipher. So glad to have you all join me here. And for those of you, if this is your very first time tuning in, please let us know in the chat. The visionaries would love to welcome you on in. I'll share a little bit about me. I am a visionary psychic medium, a Reiki master, a frequency teacher, and a soul guide. And for many years, I have helped people understand not only what's happening spiritually and energetically, but how these cosmic shifts, and we're going through so many cosmic shifts now, how these cosmic shifts actually are moving through your body and how it's moving through your emotions, as well as the role that your nervous system is playing in this, and also what that means for you at a soul level. Now, we're going to be talking about the blue moon. And because we have a blue moon that's coming up on the 31st of this month. And we're going to talk about it. Yes, I'm going to touch on some things, but we're going to go deeper than the surface astrology. We're going to go a little deeper into this to get a deeper understanding, because I know so many of you are already, you're feeling this right now. If you hear some loud noises in the background, it's about to be a lightning thunderstorm going on in the part of the world of where I am. So I want you to know that this blue moon energy is not just about emotions, but it is, and I want you to think of it this way, it is the call before the wake-up call. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean by that. You know how when you set your alarm, I don't know how many of you set your alarm, or maybe at a time when you used to set your alarm to have your alarm go off. You notice how when you set your alarm, you actually wake yourself up before the alarm goes off. You literally, so if you have to be up at 5 o'clock, you set the alarm for 5 o'clock, you wake up at 4:59. You're already up. So I want you to think of this blue moon as the wake up call before the wake up. Okay? Remember, this is the year of the Great Awakening. We kicked that off last year. We're still in the throttles of that. This year is the year about reclaiming or claiming your sovereignty. This is what I've coined it. Let me know, because we are now into what? January, February, March, April, May. We're in the 5th month, getting ready to be in the 6th month of the year. Do you feel like you're claiming your sovereignty? Can you feel that you feel different than you've ever felt while living on planet Earth, while growing up on planet Earth? Because this is a grow up year on planet Earth. Do you feel like you have emotionally matured? That there is some sort of spiritual maturity that you have entered into within yourself, within your life, within what's going on? Can you feel that? Let me know if you feel that in chat. You know, just type a little or leave it in the comments. That's me. Like you literally can feel that. Yeah. Are you all still there? Because for whatever reason, I don't know what's going on. Nothing's moving. Okay, y'all moving now. Had me a little worried, wanted to make sure. So thank you. You guys are saying you definitely feel different. You can feel the difference in what's going on. Well, that's what we have going on. And the blue moon is going to be the symbolic marker for what your soul's blueprint already understood before being here. What's happening right now on the planet for everyone here, and I don't say this in a slightful way, I say this in a way for us to be able to feel comfortable and honor this. What a time to be alive and growing up on planet Earth. It truly is a time to be alive, growing up on planet Earth, because everyone who is here, we signed up for this. We really did. Yeah. So this blue moon, not just about emotions, but we know that when we start to talk about a moon, particularly a full moon, the moon is connected to the emotional body because it's connected with the element of water. But the moon also represents the body. And so you may find that you are a little extra sensitive in your body when it comes to what you're picking up, what you're sensing, what you're feeling. You know, the body is speaking in so many profound ways, and the moon is highly connected to that energy. The moon is also connected to the collective. It's what is happening with the people. You understand? This is what's going on with the people on the planet. The moon. The moon is also connected with the collective. So when we want to know what's going on, we can tune to the reflection of the lunar essence, which is also an essence that lives inside of you. You know, this is something I've been saying for more than 2 decades and sharing this. The planets are not something separate from you. You are a part of it. It is all a part of who we are. So we have that moon, and here comes the rain. We have that moon connected to the emotions, the moon that's connected to our bodies, our physical body, right? We know that the moon also, when it comes to Earth, it's connected to the waters on the planet, but it's also connected to the planet as well. It is like they are having this cosmic conversation that's going on. It's connected to the collective. That means how all of us are connecting to one another, how we are really feeling and what kind of emotions that we have. The full moon is really sort of tapping into this energy. And as well as our home. And I want you to really think about that. Where do you call home? So we know the body is one home energetically. But then we also know Earth is a temporary home. It's not our final destination, but it is a temporary home. And then we have our domicile, our physical place of dwelling, our homes. So these are all the things that I want you to think about, particularly when it comes to this full moon. And oh, by the way, it is under that sign of Sagittarius. And so keep that in mind. We're going to keep going with this, and you'll be able to kind of pull this out. But another thing, so we know that this moon is about an awakening. And I don't care how long you've been doing this work, there is levels to this. Levels. Okay? So get ready for another awakening, an awakening to something you don't fully grasp or even understand at this particular moment, not consciously anyway. Your higher self understands this. A lot of it is in your soul's blueprint, which we'll talk about in a moment. This blue moon also is strongly connected to emotional truths. And that's a big one. Emotional truths. Now, many of us, because we've been doing this work, and when I say this work, I'm talking about the work of self, which is the greatest work that you can do on this planet, is the work of self, right? We've already been feeling this. We are coming in hot, as they say. We have been coming in hot since last week. And so your emotions and things you've been feeling and, some emotional truths that you are coming up that you can no longer hold and, no longer willing to get along just to get along, No more of that. We've been really feeling it. So, this is about reaching, and I've been talking about this on my TikTok lives. A lot of people, before I get to that, I want to talk about the collective, because this is about the collective. We are all coming to a crescendo. We are reaching a threshold as a collective. We're all coming to this threshold, no matter where you live in the world, no matter what school of thought you come from, no matter what you look like, no matter your nationality, no matter what language you speak, no matter what color your skin is, and no matter how you identify, the collective is reaching a crescendo, a threshold, where many of the collective can no longer abandon themselves emotionally just to survive. Just to survive, just to belong, just to perform, and just for something that is temporary, like a temporary peace. We're reaching that crescendo. We're right there at the gate. So, there are a large part of the collective where everyone can feel that something has shifted. And I know if you're here, I know you're going to say, Ms. Blue, you've been telling us about shifts. I literally went back and looked it up. I've been talking about shifts since 2009. Go figure that. We've been shifting since 2009. We have. But I want to talk about some specific areas. Some of you know where this shift is, and it's triggering some physical things that are happening because of what's going on in the inside. And we'll talk about that. But a shift in your sleep. Maybe you were the type of person that could stay up all night, right? All night. But now you find that when it starts getting 9, 10 o'clock, it's time for you to wind down. And you've seen drastic shifts in your pattern, or maybe you were late to rise and now you are grand rising. Like you are getting up bright and early in the morning, even before the clock goes off, even before the sun rises, you have already risen, right? Some of you have seen massive shifts in your relationships, in your one-on-one personal relationships, relationships with your family, relationships with friends. These could have been lifetime friends since you were little children or young, and you've seen drastic shifts in that, and shifts in who you hang around, your soul family or your collective, or you've seen the shifts in all of your relationships, even shifts in the relationships where you work. Some of them have drastically shifted. Some have ended, and for some, there are new beginnings on the horizon. The other thing is you've seen a shift in your emotions, like things that once would have been a big trigger for you no longer get any kind of response. And then there are other things that really you cared little about, that now just the mere thought or just the mere feeling of it, it makes you extremely emotional. And it can even be those things that are close proximity to you or things that are happening in the world. And you can literally feel your emotions rising with things that are happening around the world, that is happening to people close to you in your communities, in your neighborhoods where you live. You found a deeper emotional connection with all of this. And then this one here, I particularly have witnessed for so many of you, and it really makes me smile. And you've seen a shift in your intuition, and you really, really are getting a deeper understanding on how to trust it, how to lead with it, and knowing that your intuition is real. That inner sort of guidance system that is inside of you is greater than any of this technology that is coming out, that has been, in the backgrounds, working behind the scenes. It's greater than any of that. And your intuition is thriving for you. And as a result, your whole entire life has shifted. You can see where the drastic shifts are in your life, in your day-to-day, how you even talk, how you walk, how you think, how you dress, how you speak, the things that you do, and the things that you say. So that drastic shift within your intuition. For many of you, this is a boost. For others, it's that point where you really can self-witness your own actualization for yourself. So you're no longer thinking about it. You're living it. And then here's another major shift. And I just want to give you the ones that I have observed from clients working with one-on-one and, out and about in the city, speaking to people, myself included, in what I have noticed as well within myself. Remember, we are reaching this crescendo as a collective. We are all reaching this together in a profound way. The other shift, this one here, the nervous system, your nervous system. Your nervous system is what gets you into what the ancients would call heaven. It is that line that takes you into the higher frequency. And many of you have seen your nervous system shift. You've also seen where your nervous system has been that sort of guardrail for you to let you know that you are stepping into dangerous territories. Dangerous territories by the way that you think. Dangerous territories by the words you're speaking. Dangerous territory by the things that you're doing. Dangerous territory by the food that you're eating. Dangerous territory by what you're listening to, what you're consuming, what you're taking in, what you're exposing yourself to. The nervous system has allowed you to see that. And on the contrary, Your nervous system have been that safe haven. It has been that place of home where you can ground and you can anchor yourself. Or as they say, you can kick off your shoes, you can cross your legs, relax yourself, and sit back. And you can enjoy your own personal power. So these are the shifts, and I know you all have been feeling it. I want to speak to this because this is another one I've been getting for quite a few weeks, and that is people have been extremely tired. Like I'm talking about exhausted. I don't care how much rest you are getting. I don't care how early you go to bed, how early you wake up or late. I don't care how little you do or how much you do. Just exhausted. Now, there's a couple of things that is happening. And I want you to hear this with honest and sacred ears. A lot of people thought they were just tired. But really, this is what was happening on an energetic level. On an energetic level, you were really energetically misaligned from constantly abandoning yourself from keeping the peace. This is why you are exhausted, because of this misalignment of you constantly abandoning yourself. That is the real true disconnect from living within the false matrix of your mind, because that's what keeps the matrix, if you will, living and thriving. And it comes from abandoning yourself to keep the peace, not speaking your truth, not honoring yourself first, but looking to honor something outside of yourself for whatever the reason. So these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about. And what this blue moon is psychologically triggering, because there are some psychological triggers. These are triggers that are unseen. These are triggers that are happening within the mind. We're also going to be diving into what's happening on a spiritual level, because all things start in the spirit world first. And then we're going to talk about some more of what's happening in the physical world and where the moon is moving each day of this week. Now, y'all got to forgive your girl. I couldn't come on Monday, but I'm here on Tuesday, right? So I'm here on Tuesday. So we'll talk about that. Here's something else that I want you to note, that we will have some highlighted moments during this week and up until we get to the blue moon. And it's important that you understand this. We're going to talk about what happens when the moon goes void, of course. And what does that mean for you? Because we're going to have some tight moments of void, of course. And so this is a week to be riding the cosmic wave. Everyone who's in the futuristic activation group, I've already been sending out the text messages and things so that you can understand what is happening about these void, of course. All right. And most importantly, how can we use energy consciously? Consciously, meaning we are in our power, we are in our bodies, we are very much aware. How can we use this to evolve at a soul level instead of reacting unconsciously inside of it? Because usually that's how it's mostly dealt with. Unconsciously, we're dealing with it, only to recognize it like looking in the rearview mirror. You had to go through all of that in order to get here. But we're going to do something different here because this week, this isn't a random week. This is a very powerful week. And there is a quest that is being asked of everyone in humanity, right? Who are you willing to become beneath the pressure? Not above the pressure, but beneath the pressure. So let's get into it. I want to talk about Monday, which just passed yesterday, because Monday, the moon was in the sign of Virgo. And again, I'm going to speak a little astrology, but we're really going to dive into it in so many different ways. You know, when this energy is here, Virgo begins the week asking people to examine the details in their life. I want you to think back to 24 hours and what kind of things were you taking a look at in your life? It probably started for most of you on Sunday, leading from Saturday night into Sunday, because that's just, if you're doing the work, sometimes you'll pick these things up way ahead of time, but you will have felt the intensity of it. Now, this is not the moon causing you to act. This is you acting that is reflecting the energy of the moon. So this is at a soul level, you unlocking codes within yourself, right? So Monday could have been a very tough day for a lot of you. Many may have felt very emotionally analytic. Like, listen, you was on lock. You could pick every single word, baby. You over here, you're like, wait, what you just say to me? Wait, what just happened? No, that wasn't at 2:00. We had this conversation at 3:05. You know how I know? Because precisely at that time, I was driving in the car. I happened to look down. You like boom, boom, boom. No, this time, no. You're not running that by me. I'm right here. I'm present and I hear everything you're saying. I feel what you're saying. You know how somebody say, you feel me? Oh, yesterday was one of those, you feel me. It also was a day of being overstimulated because we got a cosmic burst from the sun. And the sun was dropping gems, baby. And all kinds of ideas and thoughts and things were flooding in your mind. Stories you forgot about from when you were 10 and 7 and 5 and 6 and last year and what you were doing 4 years ago, 5 years ago. All of these things were coming back to you. And you were just hyper aware. Hyper aware to absolutely everything that felt off. You could spot it instantly from the gas station to the clerk, right? To friends, to family, to yourself. You knew what felt off, just completely off. Whether you were on social media strolling or watching something on TikTok or YouTube, you knew, like, wait a minute, something's not right. I want you to know that this was energy showing you there's an inner world. There's an inner world inside of you, and inside of that inner world, there's a lot of clutter. As a result, you might have been looking around in your sacred space and found yourself cleaning up something, straightening something you've been talking about doing for weeks and months and years, because you realized you were carrying a lot of clutter, physically, mentally, and even spiritually. That emotional clutter was backing up inside of you and trying to get out the best way it knew how This kicked off on Monday. Some of you are still in this energy. And remember, this is a collective crescendo. So that means if you've had some tough conversation, if one word is setting somebody off and you're trying to figure out what's wrong with you, the emotional clutter, mental clutter, and energetically, the clutter was there. And I want you to know, when I dived into this energy, looking at it from really, I spent a lot of time in the Akashic files yesterday and kind of sat in silence and in the dark. I could see this is where the soul was craving simplicity. And I know many of you feel this, that you just want things to be simple. As a result, you might have threw away some things, given away some things, or plan to give away some things now, or even the way you are structuring and getting ready to do some things. Guess what? You're wanting to let it go. But the soul right now is craving simplicity, and your nervous system wants peace. And this is an indication that there was no peace, but there's a craving for peace. And here is a litmus test, and I'll give it to you again. If this energy is there for you, no matter what day, time you listen to this, and some of the collective is feeling, you will know you are overthinking. And we all know when we're overthinking, when our mind gets the best of us and we continually go over the same thought over and over again. And we say it's our attempt to look at the situation in a different way. But overthinking, and many people are feeling this overthinking. The other thing is anxiety spikes. You know, I've never done any kind of medicinal drugs or anything. I'm not a person to really get high. I kind of can make myself high, off of life and just my own energy. But I can imagine what it feels like to get a spike. You go from sleep, it's like someone startling you out of your sleep and you jump up like, what? And you just start racing. And many of you felt that yesterday, anxiety spikes, just extreme anxiety spikes. You hear a noise in the other room and you instantly think something's wrong. The phone rings late at night. You instantly think something happened. Just these anxiety spikes. Or in contrary, you're having a thought about something that happened in the past, and the mere gaze of your mind caressing over it sends you into an anxiety spike. Now, you also may have felt a deep calling that you need order. You need order in your life. You need things to be in order. You need things to be in some sort of order. There's a feeling that there is chaos or things that are in disarray. And you might have found yourself going through mail and separating and throwing away, the junk mail or the things not needed. And you just have found the sense of needing order. You might have got into your car randomly, and while you're at a stoplight, you begin to start organizing and straightening things up. And it's just this need for order and doing laundry. And now you're folding your clothes and separating them because you just feel this deep calling for order. Now, even though these are some physical examples, I want you to know this is what's happening on an emotional, a mental, and an energetic level. The other thing that you may be feeling is exhaustion. Like this is running rampant on the planet with so many people feeling exhausted. I'm going to talk about what to do with it. But this exhaustion is coming. And it's nothing you can do. You're eating good, you're resting good, you're watching good things, you're doing good things, and you're just exhausted. Now, the other thing is emotional sensitivity to environments. You find yourself walking into work and clocking right back out. You find yourself decided you're going to go to the mall or you're going to go to the store and you're getting in the car, you're driving and you're halfway there. You're right in front of the TJ Maxx. You're right in front of the Home Goods. You're right in front of the Ross. And you say, you know what? We going back to the house. And you turn around and you're coming all the way back home because emotionally, you're just so sensitive to the environment. A friend of mine's called me and they were going to go to the movies. Baby, called me back and said, nope, I'm not going to be able to do it today, and turned around and came back home. And I said, you're just emotional sensitive to different environments. And so this urge of wanting to clean, of wanting to organize, of wanting to purge, all of this is a part of this apex, this crescendo, this zenith, that this full moon is just pulling us all to the gate. We're all going to be at the gate. Starseed 98 said, yep, I quit my job. Laugh out loud. Wow. Yes, I'm telling you, people are feeling it. Now, here's the energy that is available for you. Grounding. So much grounding is available for you. And I know many of you realized that when you came to the realization of what was draining, what was causing the anxiety, where the order needed to be, why you were so emotional sensitive, and where clutter has been building up inside of you for the last 10, 15 years. So grounding is available for you to be able to ground, to be able to sit in silence. Meditation will do the body, the nervous system good. Getting into some meditation, getting outside, walking in nature, spending time in the sun. The sun is dropping, as I've been speaking for the last couple of weeks, massive gems, massive downloads, okay? Lots of healing light is in the atmosphere. Journaling, believe it or not, sitting down, getting a blank piece of paper, you can get printer paper, and just put on some instrumental music. You don't want to put on music with words in it because you don't want nothing subjective to come to you, but you want to put instrumental music on, and you want to just write. You want to dump it all on a white piece of paper. No lines, no dots, no boxes, no squares. You want to be able to free write and to let it flow. So journaling, getting it out, especially if you have to have that impeccable or that tough conversation. If you have to ask some questions, if you're up against something, many of you are battling in a sense, right? Many of you are fighting for something right now. You are going to war with some things or surrounding your justice, surrounding your power, surrounding your voice, surrounding your sovereignty. Write it out, journal it out. The other thing is detoxing emotionally. This one can be fun. It can be fun, but it can be it can be quite overwhelming at times, but let me tell you, this is something that does the body so good. And this is what I would recommend for an emotional detox. I want you can do it outside if you're in the continent where the sun is shining. We're coming into summer here in our hemisphere. Get you a blanket, find you a piece of grass, lay down on the floor, roll around, scream and kick, and have a temper tantrum. I would recommend you do this in your house, but if you have downstairs neighbors or upstairs neighbors, make sure they're gone to work or they're not home. Turn up the music loud, and I need you to have a temper tantrum. That's number one. Another one that a lot of us like to give out, those in my Oversoul group, is you go to Dear Amazon, and I want you to put in Nerf bat or plastic bat, and I want you to get you a bat. I want you to get you a bat, and I want you to wake up, find the morning you're going to do your detoxing your emotion. And I want you to make your bed. I want you to make your bed, and I want you to make it like you're about to go on Architecture Digest, or you're about to be on MTV Cribs, if you know from back in the day. And I want you to make your bed, fluff those pillows, put the little chop in there, get everything nice and neat and tight, put the blanket across, like clean the room, make everything. And then I want you to take that bat, turn on some music, and I want you to beat the shit out of that bat and get it all out. That's going to be your emotional detox. And if you say, well, Ms. Blue, I don't know, live with a lot of people, can't do that, then what I want you to do is, while everybody is sitting up watching a movie or eating dinner, I want you to excuse yourself, and I want you to go in the bedroom. I want you to close the door, and I want you to take your pillow, and I want you to scream inside of your pillow to let it out. Let it out. The other thing you can do is, right before you're going to bed, get on the treadmill, and I want you to walk and run, walk and run. Walk for 1 minute, run for 3, walk. Or I want you, right before you close down the day, you can do this still when the sun is out, I want you to go for a walk. Just go for a walk. Just go for a walk. Now, here's another thing that you can do. And this is something that's been around for eons. I want you to take an ice tray, and I want you to write all the things that you want to release on a piece of paper. Rip the paper about this size, right? Fold it up and put it in the ice tray. Fill it up with water. And once you fill it up with water, let it freeze. Take it outside and smash it on the ground. This is how you're going to release it. Smash it. Or you can take everything that you're dealing with, find a burn-safe container, take those strips of paper, and one by one, watch it burn in the fire. After all, we're in a fire year, so you don't want to play with fire. But fire is amazing for transmuting energy. Keep in mind, we're only on Monday. We haven't even got to the rest of the week. So let me speed it up. I think that's enough that you can begin to start working with that. And then we have to offer something for nervous system support. This is important for you. One of the things you can do for nervous system support is definitely some stretching. You can lay on the floor and stretch when you first wake up. Do some breathing exercises, meditating. These are all excellent for nervous system support. Taking a long bath, being in water, going for a swim if you can. taking a nice shower, turning around, facing your back to the water. And I want you to visualize light, pick a color, and see what color naturally drops into your consciousness. And I want you to pick a color, and I want you to visualize that color coming in as the water of light into your physical body. So whether that's green, purple, or orange, or red, or yellow, or gold, and just visualize that energy coming in your body and just allowing yourself to be. Lastly, I'm going to give you some red light therapy. If you have a membership at Planet Fitness, they have red light therapy at some of their gyms and many of the gyms around the country. Even some of your day and beauty spas, red light therapy, or getting you a massage, a lymphatic flush massage, one that can help move not only energy through your body, but also fluids through your body. This is going to do you well. Or also getting, I'll come back to it. That's another one. I'll come back to it. But you all get the point, right? These are some of the things that you can begin to do to support the nervous system. And then this one is a game changer. And if you're up for the challenge, this is going to make it so sweet. I want you to reorganize your priorities. I want you to think about the things in your life that you have been prioritizing, or maybe you haven't. And I want you to take your top three, and I want you to reorganize those priorities and put them in there. And definitely you want to make sure that that prioritizing is for you. Now, some of the things that many of you may have been feeling. Later yesterday, it might have gotten pretty quiet, might have been a little bit of irritation, some frustration, or just some sort of disconnect, either for yourself or for others. And that's because the moon was void, of course. Now, here's something interesting about when the moon goes void. When the moon goes void, I want you to think of it this way. It's like the moon's electromagnetic field is no longer magnetic. So there is no pull. There's no magnetic connection. There is no pulling of the energy towards you. Well, because the energy of the moon exists inside of you, then you're going to feel that there is nowhere you can go, nowhere you can hide. You are left with your own feeling and your own essence. So if you didn't feel like doing anything for real, there was nothing to pull you outside of doing it in the evening. If there was something you were feeling for real, you was feeling it for real. If there was some sort of happiness, you felt it. If there was some sort of frustration, you felt it. If there was some sort of self-abandonment, you felt it. You felt all of that. Now, as we move to Tuesday, this day right here, the moon has moved into the sign of Libra. And so we understand Libra and we know these themes. This is relationships. This has everything on a Tuesday for most of the world about emotional balance. It's about your self-worth, right? And so Libra moons, what they do is they highlight connection dynamics. And so you're going to see where those things are that sort of flow and you have a connection with, and what that connection is, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's also going to be tapping in on boundaries. Where do you need to set more boundaries, or Where are there no boundaries, right? Where 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 is there boundaries, but there should be no boundaries, right? And so you're feeling this energy within yourself, and you're feeling the harmony that is there. And also, what you're seeking is harmony. And so tonight, this is harmony that you're seeking. You're seeking emotional reciprocity. And so, if you've been having tough conversations with people you have relationships with, two things. One, look at your boundaries, the boundaries on yourself. Look at where you're in harmony, out of harmony, where. And also, is there any kind of emotional reciprocity, or are you the only one emotionally invested in this relationship? Yeah, I think this is a good place to say, if you're enjoying this live here, let's get into the balance of this energy with some reciprocity. Click that like button, right? Click that like button. It doesn't cost a thing, and it really will help the channel so much. As well. And I thank you all for your support. This is what keeps me going. This is a reciprocity that you can bring to the work and the world and where you're spending time. We have more than 207 and 123 likes. And so I would love for you to hit that like button to show that you are in tune with this energy. And this is a place where you can come to find some gems, some insight, share your thoughts, and be yourself, because that's most important. Yeah. So now, people at this time in the collective is becoming deeply aware of where they've been abandoning themselves. And if you've been feeling and you can tell, like, dang it, I know in this area of my life, I have really, 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 really been abandoning myself. That's an interesting perspective, Reiki Meta. And I will come back to that, because I love that perspective there, and we'll talk about it. But I want you to think about, where have you been abandoning yourself emotionally just to maintain a connection? I want you to begin to start thinking about that. And so here are some of the things that the collective may be feeling on this Tuesday. Longing for peace, emotional comparison, right? Relationship reflections, where you've been thinking about your relationships, the reciprocity, the emotional investment. Where is the truth in it? Is it only on the surface, or is it something that is at a soul level that's a little deeper, right? Next, a sensitivity to imbalance, that the moment you see that something is out of balance, it's drawing your attention to it. It's highlighted for you. Yeah, many of you have been feeling this. We have been building up on this. And by the way, I want to encourage you guys to follow me on TikTok. We've been doing a lot of talks on this as well for the last week and a half or so. And many of you have come into this feeling for yourself, because again, this is a collective crescendo, right? Now, craving emotional validation. Like, there is someone, I'm not talking about a stranger, I'm talking about somebody you really love and you care about, but you can tell that they're not acknowledging how you emotionally feel. And you're in that place where you're kind of craving, like, Can you see me? Can you feel me right now? That energy. And so I want you to know that this energy right now is about honest conversations, not the surface ones, but real honest conversations. The other energy that is available is emotional clarity. And that's what a lot of the collective is seeking right now, is like wanting some emotional clarity. You would have felt this pretty earlier this afternoon, right? Because the moon was void of course this afternoon. And so a lot of that was in there. You might have felt a little detached, a little indecisive. These things may have been going on, or you noticed it around people who were around you. And then the other energy that is available for you is balance. How do you find balance? And what does that look like for you, particularly when it comes to a relationship? Is it 50-50, or is it sometimes 70-30? Is it just that understanding that there is a balance between the two and looking for what that balance look like? The other energy that is very highlighted on the planet at this time is self-respect. And that's what people are requesting in the collective about themselves, places they work, people they connect themselves with, and people they have intimate relationships with. Is there a level of self-respect? And as well as looking at ourselves in a self-reflection, where is your self-respect? And then the other thing, and I think this is what the brother might have been alluding to, we'll discuss it here, but peaceful boundaries, right? I don't have to like you. I don't have to agree with you, but I don't have to go to war with you. I don't have to go tit for tat with you. We can have peaceful boundaries. And you all know what I feel about boundaries. Boundaries are not something you give to other people. Boundaries are what you give yourself. Because when you have a healthy level of self-respect and you know and understand who you are, you know your own boundaries that you will not allow yourself to cross for anyone. And so we are just coming out of this energy that may have felt very heavy earlier today, because the energy may feel emotionally indecisive, or detached. Now, as we move into Wednesday, and we're on the heels of Wednesday right now, and some of you are in Wednesday, right? The moon is going to be in Scorpio. And so we know Scorpio energy is about the depths of things. It's about the emotional depth. It's about transformation. And it's about a lot of truth coming to the surface. It could be a quite challenging and confrontational day. Wednesday could be very argumentative. So I want you to keep your head on a swivel coming into Wednesday, because this Scorpio moon, that Scorpio moon, what it does is it intensifies things. Not necessarily in the bad way. It could actually intensify things in a very profound and powerful way. It intensifies your emotions. It intensifies your intuition. And it also intensifies shadow material. And I want you to think about that. It intensifies hidden truths. And it also has a very energetic sensitivity that gets intensified with this Scorpio energy, because it wants you to go deep. It wants you to break that barrier of just living in your mind. And it wants you to deeply, deeply dig within your spirit to what is true and what is real and what is authentic to you. See, I would say this is where the soul stops pretending. An emotional truth just sort of rises to the surface because suppression, it takes way too much energy now. Literally, you will no longer have the strength to suppress the truth of what you're feeling, the truth of what's happening, the truth of what you know to be true for yourself. Yeah. So these emotional truths will come to the surface, you know? And so some people in the collective, they may feel emotional vulnerability at that time. Dreams are going to be extremely vivid. For many of you, you will wake up tomorrow with a profound, very vivid dream. You will know a deeper connection to your intuition because it will be deep, not just giving you words and flashing symbols in front of you, but really expressing the truth to you in full dialogue, right? A lot of triggers may surface tomorrow. That energy will be quite triggering. There's an emotional purging that's happening for so many in the collective, as well as a sense of obsession energy. So look out for that, and over focusing. So that's going to be the landscape for tomorrow. But here's some other things that we will have access to help navigate and ride these cosmic waves. A lot of it is healing energy. And by the simple request of doing the act or opening up to receive the healing energy, whether it's a ritual, a prayer, or being in a receiving mode. I'm not talking about a religious practice. I'm talking about being in a mode of receiving. There is energy available that if there is healing that you need to receive mentally, physically, spiritually, in any area of your life, dealing with health in your relationships, health in your finances, health in your body, health in your mental state, any of the healing, it's available to you, right? And if there is something you need to release, tomorrow is a great energetic day to start preparing and or release it. Release the thought, release the emotion, release the pain, release the hurt, release the abandonment, release the not knowing, right? Because I feel like some in the collective have just been in an unconscious state when it comes to their own life. 100% on yours, but they know nothing of theirs. Release that. It's a great time. It's a time for shadow integration. And shadow integration is simply self-love. Self-love and having a self-knowingness about yourself. Asking yourself those impeccable questions. Why didn't I make that phone call? Why didn't I take care of this? And why do I do this every time this happens? Why do I keep allowing myself to be in this position? These kinds of questions, but from a state of self-love. Emotional honesty. Not we beat ourselves up for hours, but emotional honesty about how you're really feeling. That's why I don't ask, how are you doing? I ask you, how are you feeling? And I'm talking about really feeling, not what your mind is telling you, but really, how are you feeling? And then the other energy that is available for you, because we live in a world where polarities are constantly happening. And so, no matter what the astrology brings, the numerology brings, or even what the collective brings, there is always a higher vibration that is available for you. And I want you to know that. So, just like in nature, if there's a plant that is poisonous, there is an antidote plant that is right next to it. All you got to do is look around. Wherever there is the other side. This is why your perception matters, is why we all need to understand about angels, because angels are angles. How many angels do you have with you? Is it only one? Or do you have many angels? What do they say? That every archangel has 10,000 angels with them. Those are different angles of life. So there's always, whatever your situationship or whatever your situation, you can find a higher perspective. So this is why I'm giving it to you like this tonight. Also, what is available for you, intuitive breakthroughs. So whatever is happening, whatever is going on, tap into your intuition. Go within. Go within. And you will be able to get the intuitive breakthrough. The answers will be there for you. Remember, the mind is a genius. By the way, shouts out to all the Geminis in the building. It's Gemini season, the season of the genius. And the mind is a genius, but the mind has limits. Your intuition can blow your mind. It'll give you a perspective, an insight you didn't even see or know existed. And that's why being and leading with your intuitive sight is what's going to take you into the expansive world. We're not on a spiritual journey. We're on a journey of expansion. And you need your intuition to take you there, right? All right. So later that night, as we get into Wednesday, late that night, the moon is going to be going void of course again. The reason I'm highlighting these voids of course is so that you know that you are riding cosmic waves, but at the same time, you have the ability to create cosmic waves. All right. And so now we're going to go to Thursday. Now, as we move into Thursday, the moon is going to be in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is all about expansion. It is about meaning, and it really speaks to the soul direction. So when the moon is in Sagittarius, there is an activation that is happening, and it wants freedom. Freedom. It wants movement. It wants you to move something. It wants truth. It wants perspective. And it wants expansion that goes way beyond the heavy emotional heaviness. That's what it's asking you. You understand? At a soul level, it's like the soul wants air again. After all of this emotional intensity, this energy is going to remind the collective that they are allowed to grow beyond survival mode. And when I talk about survival mode, I'm not only speaking about your finances, not that. I'm not only speaking about where you live. I'm talking about survival mode when it comes to your connections, when it comes to your thoughts, when it comes to the words that you speak, when it comes to the way you do anything in your life. Where are you stuck in survival mode? And so many people in the collective on Thursday, they may begin to feel restlessness, right? A desire will come over you for freedom. Remember, freedom speaks to a free dome. You got to get out your mind because you are cluttering up your mind. And freedom is to have freedom within the mind, not letting the false matrix continue, not letting the false matrix, which is the conscious mind, not letting the conscious mind lead the way. The other thing that the collective can be feeling is inspiration, just pure inspiration. Sagittarius brings a lot of that inspirational energy in. And then there will be a heightened spiritual curiosity. And when I say spiritual curiosity, the curiosity that is not connected to something outside of yourself, but something that is deeply intrinsic happening within the inside of you, and wanting to explore that curiosity of what is coming up, of what you're feeling, of what your focus has been on lately. And some in the collective may feel an emotional release after a heaviness. It's almost like you can take a deep breath and you can breathe, right? And so here are some powerful things that you can begin to do to navigate, maximize this energy. Number one, you can do vision work. And that vision work can come through many different mediums. Vision work by visualizing yourself, your life, right? Visualizing, where you're headed. Remember, Sagittarius carries the bow and arrow. And so you're going to need something to anchor you into the future. What are you aiming for? What is your aim? What is your goal for the future? What is it that you are looking forward to? What is that thing that you want to experience in your life that you have not so boldly gone after or consistently been going after? What is it where you can start to do vision work around this? It is also available at this time. It's going to be about manifestation, and not in the process of seeing, voila, it happening today, but recognizing that your energy of manifestation is a constant flow, and it has been that way since you were born. The moment you took your first breath on earth, you were crowned a master manifester. And really, the season of Sagittarius reminds us that we are master manifestors, and that you are always manifesting your what's next by your thoughts, by your feelings, by your actions and your non-actions. It is all in motion. And this is a great opportunity to tap back in to what are those things and why are they important to you. And then travel. Where can you go, whether that be locally? Maybe there's a little tea shop, or maybe there's a little place, a park that you've been driving by and keep saying you're going to stop. Or maybe there's a store that looked interesting to you and you want to go in there and explore. This is a great time for you to do that, because you can have downloads of inspiration, of inspired thoughts that will get triggered just by that movement of travel. And then optimistic and being optimistic, that is just not wordplay. This is actually science. And science have proved that when you have a optimistic mind, when you have primed your environment for being optimistic, more things come in for you to be able to receive. All of my digital download products, especially the Lucky Blueprint, that is for optimism, for you to be in that state so you can be open to receive. The other thing, higher learning. Is there a class? Are you thinking about a class to take, a class to teach, a class to connect yourself to? Is there a subject? Is there something you've been meaning to say? I want to dive a little deeper into this. I want to learn a little bit more about this. By the way, classes are coming soon. I will be announcing them in about a week and a half to let you know when they're going to start. I'm also going to give you some of the places I will be doing my meet and greet, and I am going to be doing workshops on. And I'm going to give you 2 of those cities, maybe 3, before we leave here tonight, of where I'll be coming. More details to come about where I'll be coming. And if you're in the area or you can come greet me, I would absolutely love it. So all of these things are available for you. And then one of the other things that is so powerful, especially if you're feeling this energy on Thursday in a way that is sort of kind of making you go into survival mode, for you to come out of it, is to reconnect to purpose. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? Reconnect to your purpose. What is your purpose for you doing what you're doing, why you do it? Why do you love what you love when you love it? Why are you moving in this direction when you're moving in that direction? What is your purpose? What is your purpose? And even your purpose for being here, for you to begin to explore those things of your purpose. And then as we get into the evening on Thursday, the energy may feel very spiritual. I liken it like if you've ever seen in the summertime, sometimes they have those restaurants. We have them in Texas that have misters. And it's a light mist, like you're not going to get wet, like your linen ain't going to shrink. It's just a light mist when you walk through it. And you can tell, but as soon as the water hits your skin, it absorbs that quickly, right? So this is what you're going to be feeling a little that evening. You're going to be feeling spiritually a little floaty, like you're kind of walking through a mist a little bit. Or some in the collective may feel a little emotionally detached. Now, as we get into Friday, the moon is going to be in Capricorn. The moon is going to be in the goat, right? Some interesting energy. And this is all about responsibility. It's about structure. It's about emotional maturity. And in some cases, it's the ability to grow up, right? And so Capricorn moon, this energy, it brings focus towards your goals, stability, where you have discipline or the lack of discipline, and emotional accountability. All of these things will come in. And I want you to think of it like this. This is where energy is really being activated inside of you. And it really begins to have you sort of kind of flirt and ponder with this question. Does your life structure actually support your nervous system and your soul, or just your survival identity? And really begin to look at that. Look at that. That's the energy we're going to be coming in to Friday. Does your life actually support how you feel in your body, your nervous system, and your soul, right? Or just your identity? For when you're in survival mode. And so some in the collective may be feeling emotionally serious. And you will see this on their face. You'll read it in their energy. It's one of those high alert days I'm just going to put out there. People will be feeling in the collective the pressure of this, right? And then it can also be for some a productivity focus. Like they just working, they just head down, hands down, they just focus. It's a time also for some in the collective for a reflection on your long-term goals, not those short-term goals, long-term goals. Where are they? Where are those long-term goals? What are they? What do they look like? When was the last time you visited them? And are the actions you're doing today bringing you not a jump and a leap, but is it guiding you? Are you moving in that direction, right? Some in the collective will be questioning their stability, their mental stability, their physical stability, their financial stability, their relationship stability, and their work stability. There will be a question about what does stability look like. But here are sort of the spiritual, energetic antidotes that is there, because during this time of this energy on Friday is a great planning day for you to just stop and plan out some things you want to achieve, you want to experience, you want to correct, you want to manifest, you want to enjoy. Plan it. Because when you begin to plan it, you get to see it from start to finish, and then you get a chance to take it from the end point, the point of inception, and work your way backwards to where you are today and see how you can begin to move forward. The other thing is about boundaries. And I want to talk about this because I quite see boundaries in a different way. When I'm talking about boundaries, I'm not talking about, nope, you can't call me. Nope, I'm going to block you. Nope, that's not a boundary. That's a wall. I'm talking about boundaries within yourself that if you don't get at least 8 hours of sleep, you're going to be cranky. That's a boundary that you don't allow yourself to cross. Boundaries have to be set prior to, and most boundaries are energetic. Energetic boundaries are no matter who comes, you're not going to abandon yourself first. You're going to check in with your own emotions and feelings before you rush to answer someone else's call, someone else's request, someone else's energy, or someone else's response. whatever that is to you, you are checking in with yourself. And the boundary is, before I try to understand your emotion you're bringing towards me, I'm going to understand how I feel. That's the boundary. And see, boundaries are one of those tricky things. You can't set a boundary after. You have to set a boundary ahead of time. Like when you wake up in the morning, that's when you set a boundary. I set a boundary that I'm going to love myself today. I'm going to make sure that I stay connected with me, my values, right? The things that are important to me before I jump ship and I start chasing someone else's emotional roller coaster. So set the boundaries for yourself. Now, another thing, you can be business focused, minding your business, working on a business. You can be business focused. Leadership. How can you step into leadership? Self-leadership. That's what's important, the self-leadership. And then discipline actions, not just taking any kind of wild and crazy actions. And yes, there's something for spontaneity, but where in your life can you take a disciplined action? Remember, discipline is not about the belt. It's not about the strictness. That's not discipline. Discipline is when you can decipher. That's why cipher, you see that in there, where you can cipher your alignment. Where can you move into your own alignment and take action? That's what discipline is. And everyone should have a discipline, just like when you go to college. There's different disciplines you can focus on, right? And remember, everyone should have 12 disciplines, because that's what the disciples were. When you hear the story about Jesus and his 12 disciples, each one of those disciples told you his discipline. And that's why every single one of the disciples, you can read that book, read where they take you, and you can gain a more alignment. You can decipher the code of the alignment and the action that is needed to be taken in order for you to achieve an outcome. So disciplined action. Where can you take it? How are you taking it? And when are you taking it? And then this is another energy that is available on Friday, and that is emotional grounding. Can you ground your emotion? Truth is, most of us, we are not responding from our true emotions, because our true emotions live in our auric field. It's not even inside of your body. But our mind-made emotions, they are running rampant on the planet, and so many people are letting them get the best of them. But when you are grounded within your physical body, then you know how you really feel. And it's completely different, I can assure you, than what your mind is telling you. Completely different. Now, I want you to know, as we are coming into Friday morning, for a brief period, I want you to stay away from forcing outcomes emotionally. Like, this wouldn't be the time to walk up to your man and say, either you gonna be with me or not. Don't do it. This is not the time to push your children into ultimatums in the morning, right? Forgive me for giving an example for women, but being a lady myself, I want to make sure you relate. But for my brothers, you can flip it around. This ain't the time to tell your girl. You do it one more time and it's over. So if y'all just need an example, I'll give you the backup example. And I'm going to tell you why, because the moon is void of course. This is not the time. It's not the time to say, you know what? That car cut me off. I'm going to, if he do it again, if he slam on his brakes, I'm going to run up to him, roll down the window, flick him off, cuss him out. Not the day for that. It's not the day for that. This is the day for you going to F around and find out. This ain't the day. This is the day that there are people who have this emotional explosion. And even though you're not a part of that explosion, you may not even contributed to that explosion, but you will get the wrath of that explosion. Okay? Head on a swivel, standing on our squares on that day, especially during the morning. Now, as we coast ourselves into Saturday, the moon will be in Aquarius. The moon will be in Aquarius. And so when this happens, there is a strong sense of awakening. When you get up, you're just going to feel the awakening. But there will be a separation, like a door, like a gate that will be able to separate you, to detach from being so emotional invested. And when that happens, it's going to open you up to future visions, right? It's going to open you up to future visions. And so with this moon being in Aquarius energy, this energy is going to activate the collective consciousness, but it's going to activate them in your individuality, in your awakening, and in your emotional objectivity. It's going to pull those things very heart and center on you. You're going to be looking forward to, wow, I know who I am. I know what makes me different from the 8 billion people on the planet. You're going to be looking for innovative ways. This is when the awakening is coming in full force and strong. You're going to see your emotions, but you're going to have a little bit of space so it's not triggered by things of the past. You'll be able to be present more. And so for the collective, you will see people are emotionally going to be outgrowing timelines. And you're going to recognize that. You're going to know when you have outgrown a timeline. I told you guys what happened to me every time I shift timelines and I cut on YouTube, my whole algorithm changes. It never fails. You're also going to be activated in your individuality. That's going to come front and center. So as a result, some in the collective is going to wake up on Saturday and not know who they are. They're going to be asking that question again because they're looking for, what about me is unique? Where is my God spark? Right? A large part of the collective is going to be activated and realize that they have outgrown certain environments that no longer match their frequency. And they're going to feel it. They're going to feel you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it immediately. You're going to realize, ooh, this don't match anymore. You see? And so a lot in the collective will, they will feel emotionally distant. But you will also be getting sudden clarity. And I know that sounds like a powerful thing, and it is, don't get me wrong. But when you have sudden clarity, that's how somebody go from laughing to you looking at them going, what's wrong? What just happened? You ever did that and somebody said, what's wrong? What happened? And you go, oh, nothing. You got that instant clarity. You got that instant clarity. A large part of the collective will be activating in, they will be craving individuality. You'll crave it. You'll crave it. You're going to crave it so much that it'll be insane. Literally. You don't want to do nothing like nobody else. You don't want to look like nobody else. You don't want to sound like nobody else. You don't want nothing from nobody else. You are going to crave your individuality. You understand? And so, the other thing, a lot of you in the collective, you're going to detach from drama. Where you was always up for a good kiki, you're going to be like, nope. You're going to detach yourself away from it. You're going to just detach yourself away from it. All aspects of it. And then a lot of the collective will be stepping into future-oriented thinking, not just thinking for today, but thinking for the future. So you may find yourself before going to the grocery store, not just making a list for what you need for dinner, but what are we going to eat for the next 2 weeks? I go grocery shopping by the month. And then on the perishables and things we run out, I go back every now and again. But you're going to get into future-oriented thinking. Not living, because that's different. Not telling you to live in the future. Telling you to be future-forward thinking. Not the lower think tank, the higher mind think tank. And that's going to come with your actions. Because you will be thinking, if I do this today, if I take all my money out today to just go have fun this weekend, and I got to pay my rent next week, I might not want to do that. See, that's future-oriented thinking. And so overall, what this energy will provide is going to be during this blue moon, a lot of breakthroughs. So many breakthroughs. You're going to have so many breakthroughs. Y'all are just going to be like, whoa, what just happened? A lot of innovation is going to happen. Simple things that you didn't have a solution for. It could be around the house. It could be with you. It could be with your health. It could be with your money. It could be with a car breaking down. It could be with you trying to move. It could be in a relationship. It could be with your children. It could be in your community or your neighborhood. Boop. You gonna listen. You gonna innovate that shit. It's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna be like, you know what? This is too easy. All I gotta do Is take this and do this and take this with this and boom, we are done. And that might have been a struggle for you in the past. But now that innovation energy is going to be flowing through you, activating you, and you're going to be able to grab hold of it. The other thing is you're going to want community, like real community, like we have here. You're going to want a real community, a place that you go and you feel like you belong, that you really, really belong. Community. So these are some of the most, what am I trying to say? Some of the most powerful things that you will be coming upon. And let me tell you why. Because the world is going to change again, like I told you guys. And this blue moon, baby, there's no looking back, for real. By the time we get to June, and really we will be thrusting through the apex. When we get to July, we're going to be in the zenith of it. So I want to encourage you. Between now and let's say July, I want you to utilize this week in the midst of all the other things to really start aiming for what you want to experience, what you want to create, what you want to do, what you want to share, and really, really put some thought into it. Not some, we gonna rush and we gonna do it. No. But really be open to receiving. Be open to growing up. Be open to evolving. Be open to exploring your authenticity and allowing sort of that activation of the guru within you to empower you with all of this gorgeous goodness of this DNA upgrade, because that's what we're preparing ourselves from, that we will get over the course of these next 2 months. We're going to get another DNA massive upgrade. There is a massive awakening, like a blast. And I want you all to think back to the times on the planet like 1999 into 2000, where there was a wave of people waking up. I want you to think back to 2012 when there was another wave of people, many of you here who just woke up. And I want you to think back into 2020 where there was another massive wave waking up. We have another huge, when I say huge, it's so big. The light was so bright when I was looking into the Akashic records to see this wave waking up. Talk about an activated summer. Some of you will be doing things you never imagined over the next couple of months in such a profound way. It requires you to be present. It requires you to stay connected to who you are and to stay open to the greatest and highest good within yourself and taking actions, moving beyond your comfort zone. And when we reach the zenith point, you will see the world in a way you have never been able to see it. But more importantly, the way you've never been able to see yourself in the world. So this is a great time to reflect, to release, to plan, to journal, to support yourself, to set some goals, set some aims for the future and to think about what it is that you want to be a part of, what it is that you want to contribute to the world collectively. Yeah. So we got some interesting times with this blue moon coming up. Yeah. Some pretty interesting times with this blue moon that's here. Because I'll say this, the blue moon energy is exposing the fractures that is here. It's like shining blue light. And so it's showing the false self versus the authentic self. It's showing where you're in survival mode versus alignment. It's showing you where truth is and where all this acting and pretending is going on. It's showing you where your inner knowing is showing up and where you're just overstimulated, because they are not the same thing. It's showing you what external validation feels like, looks like, versus what soul sovereignty looks like, feels like. And I truly believe this is why so many of us in the collective, so many of us feel like we have been emotionally stretched. This blue moon, remember, has a lot to do on a psychological level, a spiritual level, and a physical level, right? Because it is activating the collective's relationship with self-abandonment. Where have you abandoned yourself? And so some core wounds that are going to be coming up, and it's not limited to this, but some of the things, heartbreak, if you've experienced it, exhaustion, anxiety, and confusion. Where have I disconnected from myself to survive, to belong, to perform, to maintain some level of emotional comfort? Where have I been pretending at? See, that's the real initiation that's happening. Because that blue moon is triggering all of those things that we talked about. Emotional fatigue, identity exhaustion, when your nervous system looks like the 4th of July, suppression of your own truth, unresolved grief, over-functioning, emotional masking, internalizing pressure, and people-pleasing survival patterns that so many people are having. And the truth is, many in the collective are unconsciously realizing that they have built an entire version of themselves around adapting instead of authenticity. Instead of their authenticity, it was built around adapting. And people are beginning to recognize how much energy it takes, because it takes a lot of energy to suppress emotions, right? This can cause mental disturbances. It can cause illnesses in the body. It can cause a lack of finances, relationship, all kinds of things that are going on. And a lot of people in the collective are really beginning to recognize how much anxiety comes from their internal contradictions of not being able to just stay true to their own contradiction. That will cause you anxiety. So many people are feeling emotionally crowded right now in the collective, overly stimulated, suddenly detached, mentally tired, sensitive to environment, craving silence and simplicity. It's because the psyche is trying to reorganize itself desperately. And psychologically, the blue moon energy is acting like a spotlight on the unconscious right now. And it's shining a light on the unconscious. And it is revealing the emotional truths that the collective have been delaying confronting. So if there's been an argument, an explosion, something happened at work, something with your children, something with your partner, something with your best friend, something happening, it's because these are things you've been ignoring. And so this energy is revealing the emotional truths that the collective just has ignored or delayed confronting. Nothing is punishing you. Remember, everything is working for your greatest and highest good. It's really here to help you regenerate fragmented parts of yourself. Because this is why sometimes we walk around and we don't feel whole, because we have fragmented ourselves all over. Yeah. So I have about 10 more pages, but I don't think we need to go there tonight. I think we all got a good sense about what this energy is going to be looking like on this full moon, when this full moon energy is upon us as we come into this energy later in the week with the full moon. Yeah. So, how we feeling? Everybody feel like we can ride and create the cosmic waves of this week, and we can continue to grow up on planet Earth in a very profound way. I would love for you all to share your comments, your takeaway. If you're still here listening, I want you to comment with the full moon. And I also, let's see if we can come up with a phrase or something we want to say. And I want to give a nod back to some of my early beginnings. And that's going to be, we comment the full moon, and we also comment with, I know my magic. And we put the little crystal ball. So I know my magic. And so I made a promise. And so here is the promise that we're going to be getting into. And that promise is going to be, here are the cities that right now, they're tentative. I need to solidify some things for the meet and greet and for me to come and to do a share or to do a talk. Texas is going to be one of the spots. I will announce the city and the place and the location soon. Georgia is going to be a spot. I'll announce the city, the location, and the place. Chicago, tentatively, I'll announce the city, the place, the location, and the spot. And then New York City. I'll announce the space and the place and the location and the spot. So if you're in any of those cities, and you can email me at questionforblue. We'll talk more about it as, we get a little closer here into June and certain things are locked in. but I want to let you all to know that. And if you have a city or a place you want me to come, let me know. See if we can work something out. If we got enough people who are interested, then that may be the spot. That may be the spot. I'm really hoping that all things is well, because I would love to just take a massive road trip. I ain't gonna tell you the perfect road trip, but we'll have to talk about that. You, you know, that's a place there in LA. Listen, I'm open to it all, so we will see. We will see. We'll have to see. Y'all will have to let me know, you know. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm excited about it. So that's going to do it for us. I want us all to know our magic this week. Have an amazing week. It's some beautiful energy out here for us. Be mindful of when you're feeling that. If you feel some sort of disconnect from yourself, or you feel like, you know, up the antes on your self talk, this is the week you need to upgrade your self talk and your self love practice, meaning how you speak to yourself, how you support yourself. Mount Shasta is a powerful place. Asia, yes, Asia, it is. It is a powerful place. Who knows? You know? You're about to make a special trip for Ms.Blue. That is beautiful. But yes, I am going to try to get more, and more dates may come and some may come off. I just have to solidify some things and get some things in order. I just made my decision in the last 24 hours, and now I gotta get hot. Gotta get hot. So I will let you all know. Lola Falana, good to see you, Lola. You bringing gifts, Lola? Yeah, because you in Chicago. Yeah, I'll be definitely in that area. So yeah. And so we'll talk more about it. We'll definitely talk more about it. But listen, I love you all so much. I'm gonna go in here. What time is it? Dang it. Miss my eating window, but guess what? No worries. Your girl is still gonna eat, because it's been a beautiful long day today. I may jump on TikTok a little later, like give me about an hour. So you may want to jump on TikTok. Yeah, North Carolina is up there too. North Carolina is up there, but I just gotta see. Just gotta see about that Carolina. Just gotta see. Y'all let me know. Okay. All right, Glass Moon. All right. Well, I love it. I'm glad you guys are so excited. So I'm gonna be, hey Journey. Yeah, I'm gonna probably pop on TikTok tonight as well too. So, and maybe take some questions for a little bit open there. But we're gonna close this out. I love you all so very much. I want to say thank you for you all being here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I can't even tell you guys how many people they show me a month that watch the videos, that are here but are not subscribed. And then also sometimes people accidentally get unsubscribed. So I really want you to check and make sure you're subscribed. Don't forget to like this video. Let's see if we can get about 1,500 likes on this video. Pass it on to a friend that you may know. You know, make sure that you keep it close to you for the rest of the week to take it with us. I'd love for you to come back and share your thoughts. Don't forget to hype the video up. It also supports the work. It helps to get the videos out there as well. And, you know, do all these things. The algorithm sometimes tries to keep those giving out that good, juicy stuff. It tries to keep it a little patted down at times, you know, for a lot of different reasons. And don't forget to come back and leave the comment if you're still here. You're going to comment the symbol of the full moon, right? And I know my magic with the crystal ball, and put that afterwards. So I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I love you all. I have enjoyed this time with us together, just having this talk. We're having this gorgeous, beautiful full moon. And of course, the full moon is when we have two full moons. We had one at the beginning of the month, and now we're having one at the end of the month. You understand? So, yeah, this is a beautiful time for all of us to be alive and growing up on planet Earth. And we want to do it in the best way possible. We want to do it. So I am Ms.Blue, the visionary psychic medium. I love you all so much. I thank you all so much for your presence, for being here, for supporting, for all of it, for all of the love that you all have shown me from the very, very beginning of my journey. And even till now, it doesn't go unnoticed. And so, peace and love. Oracle kisses, you guys. Love you. Ciao.
Yeah. If you really want it, you gotta be it. As Ms.Blue has shared with the world, it's all about frequency.